So I'm going to tie a little pattern. It's known in the dry fly world as a skater. Very, very few people in my neck of the woods here in Western Canada will actually either know about this pattern or use it. It is simply a joy to use, dabbling on the surface water in either lakes or in rivers. It's short casts, and you're just putting a small pattern out, just dangling it in the surface and moving it through the surface water either as a dry or even as a wet, just skating it along. And it is an exceptionally good pattern to work with. It is so simple that people just sort of neglect even looking at it, but I find them a lot of fun to tie. So I'm just going to dress a hackle feather that I've pre-picked here, and we'll just clean out an area where we can tie it in. And I'll tie it with the shiny side towards the hook and the curvature towards myself, so when the hackles lay in, they'll actually lay forward. I guess a lot of people might recognize that as something that the Klinkhammer dry fly people use, and this would sort of match that. So I've tied in that little gold wire, and I use that to reinforce this pattern somewhat. I'll bring my thread up right behind the eye of the hook, and again the idea is just to have a lot of hackling in place. And you can just run the hackle forward, keep the turns tight, and just bring it up right behind the eye of the hook. Most skating patterns also will have a hackle considerably longer than a traditional dry fly would be in the 1.5 times the gap distance, but skaters generally are twice that distance. So 2 times, even 2.5 times certainly would work. I'll just wrap off a few turns there, bring the hackle back, build up a small head right behind the eye of the hook, and that'll overlap that stem that I've just tied in on the hackle. Now you can just tear that away. At this point I'll throw in a half hitch, and now what I'll do is I'll bring my gold or copper wire in a reverse wrap up through the barbs. You want to use as fine a wire as you can get, and I've used the Zemperfly 1.0 millimeter fine wire, and that works extremely well on these small patterns. So three locking turns, and then a few small turns in front. Tear that away, tear the wire away, and then just proceed into a whip finish. Simple, easy pattern, very effective, great pattern to throw late in the evenings over a lot of the hatches in our southern Alberta streams, and it's not difficult to tie, and the fish react very, very well to it. Oh, there we go. That's just a small skater pattern. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that.